By the time I arrived in Afghanistan, I thought I knew what I was getting myself into. After all, I had already spent a year in Iraq. I was working at Camp Victory, earning good money and building a career as a contractor. When the opportunity came to move to Afghanistan, the decision seemed easy. The new position paid even more than the one I already had. At the time, that felt like progress. More money, more opportunity, more experience. So I accepted the offer and packed my bags. What I didn't know was that Afghanistan would challenge me in ways Iraq never had. When I arrived, I quickly realized this assignment was completely different. In Iraq, I had lived and worked on a military base. There was a level of security and predictability that came with that environment. Afghanistan was another story. I was living among the local population. Every morning, I had to make my way to the base. Every evening, I had to make the trip back. I wasn't behind the walls anymore. I was outside them, and that changed everything. For the first time, I felt truly exposed. The reality was impossible to ignore. Many of the local people didn't want us there. They didn't see us as helpers. They didn't see us as guests. They saw us as a threat. And whether that perception was fair or unfair didn't matter. It was their reality, and it became part of mine. Every day carried a different kind of tension. I even had to carry a blade for self-protection, a different kind of awareness, a different kind of exhaustion. I found myself constantly evaluating my surroundings, constantly paying attention, constantly wondering if I was taking risks that weren't worth taking. At first, I tried to convince myself I could adjust. I told myself I just needed more time. I told myself it would get easier. I told myself the paycheck made it worthwhile. But deep down, I knew something wasn't right. The truth was simple. The situation wasn't sustainable. 6 months later, I made a decision that surprised even me. I decided to leave. Not because I had another plan, not because I had another job waiting, not because I knew exactly what came next. I left because I finally realized that no amount of money was worth sacrificing my peace of mind. That lesson sounds obvious now, but sometimes life has to teach us things the hard way. I boarded a local flight out of Bagram. As the plane lifted off the runway, I remember feeling something I hadn't felt in a long time. Relief. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. My journey took me through Dubai before eventually landing in New Delhi, India. I had never planned to stay there. India wasn't part of some grand life strategy. It was simply where I landed while I figured out what came next. And honestly, I needed time to think. For years, I had been moving from one mission to another, one opportunity to another, one country to another. For the first time, I stopped. I enrolled in IT training courses at a local training center. During the day, I studied. In my free time, I explored Delhi. I walked the streets. I observed the culture. I met people. And slowly, I began to reconnect with a version of myself that had been buried beneath years of responsibility, deployments, contracts, and constant movement. I wasn't chasing danger anymore. I wasn't chasing money anymore. I was trying to figure out who I wanted to become. Looking back now, I didn't realize it then, but India became a bridge between two versions of my life. The woman who arrived there was exhausted. The woman who left was ready for something new. Then one day, my phone rang. An opportunity had opened up in Germany. At the time, it felt like just another job offer, another country, another move, another fresh start. What I couldn't have known was that Germany would become one of the most important chapters of my life. A chapter filled with growth, healing, friendship, and possibility. And that's where my story goes next. In the next episode, I'll share how a temporary opportunity in Germany turned into 4 years abroad and changed the way I looked at life forever.